Okay, we're preparing the live stream. Setting up your YouTube live. And we are live.
Calling the meeting to order. It's 4:27 p.m. to everyone. Everyone here. And I know we're supposed to speak up on behalf of DJ, who's keeping notes via AI, I think, today. Yeah, keeping a transcript.
He's just asked because he goes to the recording to do the minutes when he's not able to be here to take notes, and he's just asking everybody to speak up clearly so the camera can catch, because sometimes it doesn't.
I have. Oh, sorry. Oh, I have it. Yeah, I have. Thank you. Okay, so did anyone have a chance to review the minutes of the last meeting? Can I get a motion?
I know this is a petty thing, but
Actually, I need a motion first before we go into the details of any changes.
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Thank you. No,
now
please, Richard.
something doesn't quite read right. In the 1, 2, 3, third paragraph, 6th line down, it says it was agreed that the planning and request have a late start. I think it was just had a late start or something. And that's why
Right, with commentary and acknowledgement from the assembled commission, it was agreed the planning and request have a late start.
Yeah, and that's kind of important because it's not saying we should have it, but we did have it. It did have it. Yeah.
Okay, have to had.
Yes, since this is a record, I thought it was important. So.
Thank you. Anything else? Any other questions or comments about the minutes of November 13th? May I get a all in favor of approving the minutes? Say aye. Boost. And so it is passed. Our scheduled guest Priscilla Brandler is not able to of the Greater Hudson Heritage Network was not able to attend per the agenda due to personal circumstances. So we're going to be striking that from the agenda today. To move on to the Distinguished Artist Award 2026 update. Dina and Cicely and I met to discuss the details. We are going to, I'm passing off the information as I was the chair last time in 2024. We have agreed on the following next steps. I'm going to reach out to all the Distinguished Artist Awardees to collect testimonials about the impact of the reward for a fundraiser that's going to begin mid-January. It's going to be managed by the Midtown Kingston Arts District as a online fundraiser. The testimonials will serve as a messaging for the fundraiser as to why this is important, why we need a cash award. That's what the fundraiser is for, to raise the $1,500 for the cash award that we have given every year since this.
Well, is it combined with cash award and the art plaque?
Yes.
Yeah.
Could you remind us of the history of this, where the money came from in the past?
I don't know all of some of it came from the budget, yes. Kit?
All of it came from my
That's
budget.
what I thought.
And then I thought it was seeded by the commission in the first pilot year, but you were here, right?
Yeah.
For Peter Wessler and I can't.
$500.
Right.
And so now the city is donating no money?
500. So it's
500.
2,000 total.
500 for the reception. That I'm totally blanking on the date. I couldn't find it. Of May.
It's here.
25th.
And the rest is for the award itself?
The award and the cash award. Yeah, the little trophy. We had agreed to utilize Sarah Beans if she's available to do the same award as Matt Leva. with the Kingston
Seal.
seal. That's it. Ding, ding, ding. So, yeah, so we, feel the testimonials will be strong in terms of its impact on the artist, on the past awardees, and, that'll be really strong content for a fundraiser, to raise that money. Dina and Cicely are going to be drafting an appeal fundraising letter, and incorporating the testimonials that I'll be, requesting. I've been passing off documents, and at the next commission meeting, we will discuss how how the commissioners can engage in the fundraiser, and the selection panel formation.
How do we go about getting nominations?
I was just gonna ask, like, we usually put out the call for, nominations publicly, comes from my office, and then we, you know how it goes here. We have to really work hard to pound the pavement to get the word out, to encourage people. Arts Mid Hudson goes through the same thing. To, you know, you can put the notice out, but people don't remember. And by the deadline, you know, you're looking for more nominations and you don't have enough. I sit on the County Executive Awards panel, and it happens every year that, you know, we're just, you know, banging on people's doors, please nominate folks. We're sending it to organizations, individuals. So we'll have to go through that process here as well, getting it out to, you know, and asking the past awardees also, sending it out to their lists, and hopefully we'll get a good nomination pool.
Will the MCAD board be asked to do nominations as well?
Yeah, oh yeah. I will be asking. We'll probably utilize the same form, so, maybe we want to review that criteria, before it gets released. So I also suggest that for the next meeting, that we have that ready, or even in an email, just to, make sure that's what we want to continue to do. It's usually not, it's not self-nominated, it's.
How early did we start the last time? I just don't
It was,
remember.
it was beginning in
It was around
January.
January that we started.
So I figure if we could do it after January commission meeting, maybe that following
That's
week.
tight. Yeah.
Well, we have 2 months. It's usually through the end of mid-March that we, I was looking at the nominations and they were being received. And the last one we received was in mid-March.
And Arts Commission members are encouraged to submit nominations as well.
Yes, just as in prior years.
And then the committee, we have 2 chairs, but you're still looking for other committee members, or is 2 enough?
Um,
Do you mean the selection committee?
No, I mean the DAA.
oh. I think, I don't know, maybe that's a consideration for you too. I mean, it's not a huge lift.
It's not really, because, you know, my office is supporting just about everything. And then, for the, selection committee, I think this came up before too, how are the members of the selection committee chosen?
Mhm. Mhm.
You explain that folks here nominate selection committee panel.
Or
And
make
And
recommendations.
some commissioner serves on.
Yes,
So it's 1 commissioner, and I know you have all your notes, so you can
Yeah.
just go back, because we're gonna be writing back and forth. We can work by email on this.
yeah, so we are looking for, a representative selection panel that is both intergenerational and diverse. And across fields, not just arts fields. So last year we had, Margie Menard from the Kingston Library. We had, and Chris Warren from, the COO of the Boys and Girls Club. Also the, theater director and actor, Sakina, and,
Khadija.
thank you. And there was one other, oh my God, I'm blanking. Anyway, it was a good cross section. Yeah. Totally blanking. We had, Isabel Cotarello, so we did have 1 commissioner on the selection panel. The chair historically does not have a voting, merely a facilitator of the process. So I codified all of that, and it's not sacrosanct. It can be adjusted according to the chairs, I feel. But it seems like the selection panel seems to govern themselves pretty well through a one, like a 4 to 6 hour period to go through each.
And there's a list of past awardees and the co-chairs will be able to say, well, we've had, making this totally up now, 3 visual artists, 1 performing artist, no literary artist, no media, of course we have, but you know what I'm saying, because I think that would be a very useful thing.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the first questions the selection panel had, like for the prior awardees, what were the art forms? It was, are there any goals towards diversifying the awardees? Not just in terms of art form either, but ethnic and cultural diversity. So there are those considerations as well. And the chairs really are there to facilitate that conversation based on your own knowledge of process. Yeah. I think it's a great way to carry on a legacy means for the Arts Commission to offer this award. I feel like it's really important. Yeah, and more often than not, I'm seeing big impact from the artists that are awarded. They have pride. They carry it as a little proud badge. Yeah, to represent the city in that way.
Good. So we'll work together online. Get this party started.
Right, so we're gonna try to raise $2,000 minimum.
Well, is it 2,000? My budget covers 5.
Right,
You're gonna,
raise an additional 2,000.
Oh, this is 2,000, I thought.
Well, 15th for the award. We want to be able to pay for lunch for the selection panel to meet,
Oh, I
to
see.
congregate, and the award itself, which 2 years ago it was $150. I wanted to give a little bit of cushion, if that is going to go up a little. Very reasonable pricing from Sarah Beams. So, with the cost of inflation, that non-affordability that's happening.
Okay.
Do you have any comments, Cicely, about it?
No, I think we're in a good spot. Some great leadership, so I think we'll be great.
I'd just like to thank the Town Arts District for becoming like Arts Mid Hudson with this. Because it's that model that Chrisanne had suggested. And hopefully there'll be ways to, through this, raise funds for the organization as well. But I do really appreciate that. Matt has been as we all know, we can't give here. So Matt has taken it upon itself to be the organizer that we contract. So with this, it's, taking it a step up and actually being, I don't even know what you call Arts Mid Hudson for the county executive awards, but it's that. It's aligned with that approach.
And all we really care about is whether Zach is going to be the MC.
I'll see if he's available.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for it.
Okay, then.
Can I make a request to move my update up before the strategy and funding committee on the agenda?
Surely.
I'll be brief so we can get into the numbers and other matters.
Yep,
Okay,
please.
do you have to have a vote on that or we just go?
Nah, let's just do it.
The chair said so. So in your packet, and I'm sorry, there's so much paper flying around, but you see the Department of Arts and Cultural Affairs with the budget up on the right-hand corner, and it's actually a one-pager as opposed to my one-page, updates that I give you, which I'm gonna give you next month, and that will be going to the funding source. But this is the brief that goes to the mayor that gets published to the public. The, recommendation from the commission that I had last year was to get some numbers on this, get some data on this, put some meat on these bones, because I was kind of too generic. And the recommendation also we learned from Woodstock is to use the Americans for the Arts at the impact, since that is one of the concerns raised by one of the aldermen, that we don't see how the Arts and Cultural Affairs Department's department generates revenue. And thanks to the arts, the Americans for the Arts calculator, they have a formula that they use. They ask you a bunch of questions and boom. For the year 2026, with a total of about 11,575 attending our events, using their calculator, their economic impact calculator, the department reinvested $16,773 back into the local government economy for the year 2025. So basically, we do see dollars and cents here, that are generated through our events. They're asking questions like, who comes to your events? Is it a tourist? We have events on weekends, and there's a justification for us having these events on weekends, even though it stretches my hours unbearably sometimes. But it's because we're attracting tourism to our events. We're bringing people from, I've met people from Seattle to Florida this year at a lot of events, just coming through and wanting to know what else we're doing. And so with that, I, can just highlight that, we're going into phase 5 of the master plan. We are going into phase 2 this year with public art policy. Hopefully, we're going to launch phase 1. We hope that Priscilla will be well enough to, get started this month, but she's encumbered for this, for the funding. So she's encumbered, whether she actually starts this month or next month, she is encumbered to complete this project by May. So we're looking forward to getting that started, getting it done. I also, noted as far as our semi-quincentennial milestone event that we had this past Saturday, and what a blazing success it was. And I need to, on record, make everybody aware, because I've had a few comments. It was too long. It was too long. I knew there was going to be a horde of people coming in this building, and I have been to arts openings where I actually left because there were too many people, and I just didn't want to be that up close with so many people. I was feeling claustrophobic. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't see any art, so I didn't stay. So I decided to extend the day so that people could just live with and that's what the artists appreciated the most. It wasn't jam-packed. They could actually enjoy their family with the art and see everybody else and meet everybody else without, being so crunched that they couldn't enjoy it. And that was one of the comments that I got. The 52 people performing. This has been the performing arts, the reason for the performing arts, just to, allay any of the questions about why these exhibits are so big. There's one thing to have an exhibition opening on a Saturday afternoon and have cheese and crackers and then tell everybody, thank you for coming. However, with our exhibitions, paired with performing arts and making them milestone events. We get hundreds in this building. I keep on just glowing when I think about 3 artists reported back that they sold art. 2 artists got major shows and asked for their art early. These are accomplishments that we would not see if we just had an exhibition opening one day on a Saturday, and then this building is closed on weekends, because that's what is going on. This building is open from 8:30 in the morning till 4:30 in the afternoon. and then it closes when all the tourists get up here. So it makes more sense to me to pair and make it a milestone event. You've never really seen us put on an event where it's just a generic. That was my question when I came in, and I'd like to have that discussion. When I came on board, I asked why, since there are so many galleries in the city of Kingston, does the city of Kingston also want to have an exhibition? And I got that we need to bring forth, I hate the word exposure, but I'm using it right now. That this is a burgeoning arts community. We have these artists, here they are. Here are these, as you see in the labels, they're not your typical labels. If it's an organization, here's the organization, here's where, and so with the youth wall, you see CCE, you see MAG, you see Boys and Girls Club. And with other artists, you also see, I'm already getting calls from artists saying, we're already getting inquiries for prints, what have you. With the performing arts this past Saturday, it was filmed by Hudsey, thanks to Radio Kingston, because when I requested that Radio Kingston tech team film it, sometimes they actually just go to Hudsey and say, here, bring your major equipment. That's what happened on Saturday. We were going to get this fine video from Hudsey, thanks to Radio Kingston, and thanks to their tech, their state-of-the-art tech services that they provide us. We started with the Key of Q. We ended with the Van Aber Caravan and everything in between. I'm hearing from the artists themselves. Thank you for putting together this diverse and bringing us all together. All these colors, all these people from different backgrounds. That's what we are becoming famous for. That's why we get awards. So I just want to make it known on camera why, number one, it was so long, because I just don't want to host super spreaders. The majority of our patrons that come to our events are elderly, and I am concerned about that. I'm concerned about the last time that we were here with the statue, and we were very happy. So I just spread it out, and it went well, and everybody, I'm still getting letters. Dennison, an alderman, actually got to come. He wrote phrases. His first time he's ever been to one of our events, and he sent that phrases. And because the aldermen, they asking what I do and having me tell them what I do is not the same as coming and experiencing one of our, like I call them, signature events. So I'm very pleased with the outcome. I'm thankful to Artsman Hudson for its support of the performing arts component of Saturday. And I just look forward to, and this is also in your packet, and I will get to that, but I look forward to a year of events that commemorate the 250th anniversary of this country, but also point back to this exhibition. I'll be hosting some things here and some things elsewhere. But since I'm in town, I will constantly be offering, come and see this exhibition when I'm out and about. And this is what I do. I open the building when I'm here on weekends to anybody that wants to come. So with the 4th of July celebration, we've been doing it for a while. Sal at Mariners Harbor has offered now to pick it up. So we will be, I was like, so Sal from Mariners Harbor will be hosting, I'll be supporting, but a lot is coming up. I'll get to that in a minute. I also want to thank CPW, because CPW always does custom framing for one of our pieces of art. This year it was Pete Seeger's banjo, and beautiful job, absolutely. Now with, for next year, I've just said that we're just going to continue facilitating the master plan, but I would like to suggest that we review it. I've been saying constantly that I just don't understand a lot of it. And I know that there was one time when the commission decided to spend a whole Saturday studying the master plan. I know that we've spent a long time looking and staring at it. But I think that we really need to review, because it's been a long time now since that was created and approved, and we had a lot of change. And as we know, we need to change a plan every 3 years. We need to upgrade it. We need to update it. We need to look at other things. We need to spend time with Mad Draw and find out what they do that satisfies. And I've said this before too, we've just been so busy, we haven't been able to do it. But this is one of my projects for next year, is to go from pillar to post and just go through the master plan and just kind of document who is taking care of what on this. And then kind of bring it all together from, the center. We hope to be in phase 2 of the, municipal arts collection. Phase 2, meaning the assessment appraisal. And then hopefully in the phase 3, we will have worked hard to raise money to at least work on, repairing the work progress administration. Just on site without taking it off the wall. Joyce Lester's contact estimated that we are now looking at about 40,000 in repairs, but she didn't even take it off the wall yet. Yeah,
When you say assessment and what's the other word?
appraisal,
Appraisal. So you really literally mean appraisal, not,
trying to,
the importance of this work to the city's legacy.
well, I think it's a combination. And I think it needs advice before we move into phase 2. I think we really need to hone in on what that particular contractor is going to be working on and honing in on. And I think that's a good piece too, because some of it won't, I don't know, because it's not really my specialty. I don't know that we can appraise everything that we own.
That's expensive.
Yeah. So we'll have to look at what phase 2 looks like.
But I mean, I'm sorry.
What the scope is.
I mean, that's something that, we can go through and look at the pieces to say which ones we want to have appraised.
Why do we need to appraise?
That was actually, I was going to ask that, but except,
That would be up to you all to.
But I think it's important to ask the consultant that too.
yeah,
Do most historical collections, when and why do they do appraisals?
Isn't there an insurance consideration?
Yes,
yeah.
but does the insurance consideration, first of all, is the city self-insured or does it have?
There's a gap. I thought
There's a gap.
there's a big gap.
Yeah, I mean, usually you get a writer for that, but I'm saying, go ahead.
No, please.
I think, and that's why I mentioned was talking about selecting, because, first of all, you can't insure something without an appraisal. But it doesn't mean, again, that you have to appraise everything. There are certain things that you pretty much want to know what the value is, but you also learn something also about the work. That's what an appraiser does, is that they look into the background of the work.
Yeah, but so can the person who's doing the registrar work
Yeah,
expect that person to do some work on the background as well?
yeah, actually, that's where there is a crossing of that, but yeah, I think that should be discussed then, whether there really is a need for an effect. There is for insurance purposes, and I don't think the registrar is not a certified appraiser.
No, will not do that.
And so, that it may, but that also could be the recommendation of the registrar to determine that. I think that's actually where we should go, is to say to the registrar, does this need to be appraised and what should be appraised?
Is the work also going to include what's standing on the lawn?
Yeah, now there's some that I think, because we're also talking about monuments.
Yeah, that's
That was
what I'm-
also included, and.
And the boxer in front of the, just checking.
Yeah, that stuff,
Nasty.
all that stuff. But then it's a matter of the decisions that this table makes about, where the focus will be after that. Once Priscilla finishes up the inventory and what your conversation right now is part of the conversation that she wants to have as well.
And because it's also useful to find out other cities of our size, when they have done a similar thing, what have they done? And have they done full appraisals? Because having those models is extremely useful. And oftentimes you can find out online which cities have done work on their collections. And then you can get in touch with the person.
Do all cities actually even have a collection?
Well, I know they just finished Orange County.
Yeah, I mean, cities our size.
Yeah.
They did one.
Yeah, they just, Greater Hudson Heritage just finished Orange County. That was in their.
That's very useful.
When they applied. And their results was a pretty big, document with a lot of good stuff in it. That's why they were impressive. So anyway, yes, well, when Priscilla starts, that's part of the conversation we had. She had a really good presentation all prepared for us about how she's going to launch this. And again, she was talking about possibly phase 1B, depending on where we go here. But it's dependent on, this is where the commission needs to leave her on how deep they want her to dig. But she's given us a really good outline, and I'm really glad to have them on board. I hope they get well.
And we all have to be very much aware of the fact that digging, how deep she digs, may affect the fee that she's being paid, which is a
This is within.
rather modest.
This is within. It's rather modest, and this is what she's presenting. And I'm sorry that we're not getting it. Perhaps she could just send it to us so that we can move it along. But I don't want to, pressure her right now. So are we good with that piece? I want to just move on a little bit to the Lunette repair update. It's moving along as you saw in the pictures and everything, and we're looking and hopefully looking at the city staff installing the 2 missing lunettes by the spring and having some sort of teeth with it. We're just like right now kind of juggling about the insurance pieces right now. Who's going to do what and who's insured from SUNY to do this or that, because our insurance carrier is going to have to see that if they're bringing students, if they're seeing anybody. So that's just kind of the dangling area right now, but it's all systems go. And what I'm again really pleased about is that they want to keep us. They want to take 3D pictures of every single one of the lunettes and just keep this going semester by semester and have the students. And maybe it's taking longer because it's going through the engineering department at SUNY New Paltz. So, because if we contracted with somebody and gave them big money, we'd have done. But I love the fact that the engineering has adopted this piece, just like you've seen studies that New Paltz adopted the word progress administration, cataloging. I just love this kind of stuff that, you've got a whole department that's not ever going to go away, unless, of course, new professors and they change their mind on it, but I'm just happy about it. So anyway, with that, I'd like to just close. If there's any questions, let me know. I plan on for next year spending quite a lot of time with the new aldermen coming in for, and we want them to understand why they love us so much. So I'll be spending quite a bit of time on that.
Good. It's really important.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Is this,
This last point for accomplishments, does this include any of the grants that you were able to secure?
no, it's in the detailed report that's 20 pages, the specific awards since we started working together, 7. But that doesn't count the grants. It's just people saying great job from the greater Kingston community, and most recently the long consultations. So yeah, let's want to move on to strategy and funding now, so we can get into the numbers.
Sure.
Okay. next in your packet is just kind of where we landed for 2025. We haven't spent it all yet, but this is, I just wanted to the delineation of expenses and how the money was spent. I know I've never done this, so I'm doing it. So you have that. If you want, I'm also gonna send this all to.
What are we looking at, please?
This one?
It says budget projections 2025.
Yes. That's a different title. It should be something different now that we're at the end, but.
Yeah, that's what they.
So if you wanna, just, I can send this to you if you wanna look at it, or if you wanna take a moment to look at it right now. I've got a pile of it. But this is kind of how this laid out. And as you see, 7,000 is encumbered. From the 10,000, sorry, 14,000. And I'm not done yet because we still have one more event, and that is the New Year's Eve.
There also a film for Burning of Kingston this year, right? Sarah Carlson's film prep.
Pardon me?
Is there a film in the offing with the Burning of Kingston too?
That was not Sarah, that was actually, Sarah did some prep with it but Barbara Grace Pollar's husband actually filmed it. So I'm just waiting for him to, he filmed part of it. He didn't film the whole weekend, unfortunately. But he did film the enslaved women's voices. Pretty powerful, if you ask me.
That was the one to do.
The, Women's History Month, okay. Zero. Dollars spent, of what you spent,
I'm just gonna
right?
That was, the fiscal sponsor for the All is Done by Hand Textile Arts event was Art Society of Kingston. Woodstock leaders raised money and it was funneled through Art Society of Kingston. So that's how we got that.
It's just would be interesting to see, like, it's a zero sum towards, what I mean?
Well, that's my budget.
Yeah.
That's not, I didn't pay for anything, so.
Right.
What did you want?
No, I just think it's interesting to see how many things you're able to accomplish even without spending
It is.
money.
I actually have that budget
Yeah.
report, so I can actually, send that and
Yeah.
add that to January report, which is gonna be pretty thick. It's gonna also include that, so I can actually add on the report that Carol Wood sent me as far as how it got budgeted. Who fed that budget? That's what I did.
Yeah.
Any other questions? We can move on to the 2027, sorry, guys.
I'm sorry, this fiscal sponsorship, what is the going to be the role when it happens, when the city's not going to get 501c3, it's another, it's a different organization, right?
I'm not sure, I don't want to speak on that because I'm not sure about all of the detail on
It is
it.
very confusing. Last point.
Once it all settles out, I know that there'll be a 501c3 that the city can access as opposed to asking for fiscal sponsors that we use to directly apply for funds for the city's purposes. So when that shakes down, I'll get the finals from the mayor and give a report on that.
I have a question about something I actually know something about, not the specifics. It says here, colonial era textile arts exhibition at the Old Dutch Church Gallery.
What are you looking at? I'm not there yet. Oh, budget projections for 2025, that's what we are.
2026.
Yeah, this.
I'm not there yet.
Oh, you're not there yet.
I wanted to
Oh,
talk
sorry.
down to
sorry.
the approved budget.
Yes,
That's the approved budget. So that's what I have to work with the additional 10 grand that we got from NISCA. So for coming in beyond my salary,
Which column is it the recommended? That's the recommended column? Is what
the recommended,
is what they approved,
right?
which is what you requested.
So what you see there is 15 in contractual services. I also have 10, which does not show here yet from NISCA. I'll be making an appointment to, add that to my budget next month.
And that's gonna be for,
I'll get to that in a minute. I just wanted to, I went to a lot of paper.
usually get told what the contract is, then what the
But
under
just wanted
the
to
amount is.
let you know that it was a sweat and my presentation of, finance was a sweat. They were asking very difficult questions. Well, basically, John Tui did warn us that this was gonna be a tough year coming into 26. They have had to raise taxes. And, you know, the advisement, which is why I wrote this directly in my report, show your revenue. So I used the American for the Arts calculator to show that we directly reinvested 16,000 back into the county government the city government revenue. Because we need to show those numbers, because they're not glaring here. You know, they're not like other departments that are bringing down $1 million grant for major projects. And, you know, I remember a talk with Tony Delgado when I was at Maverick, and I said, how come nobody cares about the arts? He said they care about money. And it was so cute that he answered it that way, but I've heard that answer a lot. You know, it's like they hear you, they don't get it. We did not even make an impact when we got shut down from COVID and everything shut down and tourism shut down and the merchants were broke. They didn't get it. So we have to do better. I have to do better in just showing how these numbers work, showing how our events reinvest, showing how everything we do calculates the dollars. But anyway, we got through it. And again, it's gonna get tougher. I don't believe that 27 is gonna be, brighter year at all. We are into our second year of the Novo, grant for, 75. We have, another 75 for the following year. And then the predictions are that we're gonna be reduced in 28. Meaning that we will have to raise funds that will support salary as well as benefits if we're going to stay alive. Or find a way to strongly justify to the city and residents why they should write letters and fight for the city general operating to fund this department. But it has to be a strong statement. We can't be Bernie Kingston and exhibitions. It's gotta be some people. So, and that was the strongest I could do. And I'm really grateful again for the calculator. It will Woodstock. So anyway, can I move from that to go into this now? This is 2026. And this is where NISCA falls in as well. You have that in the next page, but this is looking, beyond our public art policy work, which, you know, out of the 15 allocated, I'm looking at about 7,000 for that, maybe more. That's why I'm not touching anything right now. I'm still waiting for another grant to come in, with the county. We applied for a Hudson Valley Greenway grant. We're still seeing what those numbers are going to come in at. And we do have an opportunity to apply for even more money, but here is what the programming looks like for next year. Based on the fact that we got 10,000 of the 25 we applied for in NISCA, and we also have some money to use in this current budget. Outside of that, I'm not going to be too ambitious yet, but this is a And as you see, this all relates to the semi-centennial of the country. Everything is flowing in that vein.
But can I ask my question now?
Yes, you,
The home production in the Halls in my hand, number 2, City Hall. When I came to the event last year, it was mainly makers. This says home production of 17th and 18th century textile art expo. Does that mean that there will be textiles from the 17th and 18th centuries?
but she's looking at that period. Also, what she's planning, which I find fascinating, is that there's going to be a flag. And everybody that walks in can participate in some kind of way, in some kind of weaving activity for this big flag that she is going to be producing. So I'm not really sure. I don't have the detail for her, but I just wrote her and asked her now that we kind of know what our numbers look like, that she's got to go after her own funding, to give us some more detail and write up on what this second year is going to look like.
I just didn't know if,
But it's from that era.
or you knew that there's a foundation that focuses specifically on textile arts, fashion, and only in the Northeast of the Atlantic.
Uh-huh.
Um,
How can they
What's
get
the name of
involved?
Called the Kobe Foundation. And it might be worth sending a letter of interest to the executive director, Marty Hofer.
Can I,
It's online, kobefoundation.org.
okay.
How'd you know this? I didn't know this name.
Okay, will do. That's great.
I mean, I don't know what, Maureen's priorities are, but she's certainly aware of the city of Kingston. It would be worth contacting her.
Okay. We'll get on that. Any other comments about what the semi-quincentennial, I love that word. Ruth Ann hates that word. I love. Right. She says it's a dumb word. I think it's a great word. Semi-quincentennial. So anyway,
Is the American Emotion venue City Hall?
no, that would be either Bethany or Tempo. Oh, we really would love it outside, but it's probably gonna land at that. I know Tempo is a great thing, we're looking at the parking, we're looking at a whole lot of things around both areas.
Well, this
So-
on that day.
We're gonna be talking about that because Into the Light is on Saturday, so, and Tom Kruger's coming. So we're gonna smash it in the back room. Have a quick business meeting.
Hard to follow in this one column, panelists, with the program again. Is this all just music and diplomacy, then the rest of it
I'm
is?
sorry about that. I think Maria wrote it so beautifully, I didn't want to close that, so I just said, okay, I'm just leaving it here.
Is that what it is?
That's what it's-
I think.
I know Malia, because I listened to her on the radio. Good morning.
Yeah.
Who's the land?
Malia.
She gets that bar,
Oh,
and, she bought this to me, and we've had several meetings, and it's brilliant. And they can't wait. And it's the marriage between the city of Kingston and West Point and Bard. I mean, we're already glued in with Bard, but this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good.
I don't know if this is the right time to ask about this or even to make a comment about, marketing for the ACA in a broader sense. I don't feel that, it's been the events have been marketed well enough and from like an arts organization perspective. Like from a municipal standpoint, it's probably adequate. But I feel that it's lacking. I mean, I've been doing these NIFA, I've been in the cohort for this year's NIFA Community Arts Leadership Program. And we had a topic of marketing. And the nature of social media content has changed because of the evolution of the algorithms. And there was a best practice at one point that you do not want to put too much content out all at once. But now it's absolutely required to put out as much creative as you can. And when it comes to arts events from the city that make these kind of impacts, that provide this kind of access to the arts, I feel as chair that we're losing an opportunity with the resources that you've been managing on a shoestring to make happen. There's not enough marketing support for it. There's just not. I think that the weekend's event was amazing and so diverse, and the expertise was excellent. And I mean, it just was a great representation of local talent, and it just wasn't marketed enough. And you don't have your office does not have the capacity to do so. But I feel like it's the conversation that the commission needs to have about how the program can continue to this level, this degree, especially with the gallery being, with the lighting, it's seamlessly beautiful. It's just beautiful. And I think the city's losing an opportunity to spread the word to not just the city of Kingston, but to the county and to the region about what's happening here. I don't know if there's a solution to be talked about today, but I just want to bring it up. Dina.
Does Dina have her hand raised?
Sorry, I thought it was.
Oh.
Sorry, Sophie. I didn't see you.
No, I just wanted to say that that's something I've been thinking about a lot as well. And I think I've mentioned it a couple times now. It would be wonderful to get Helen Toomer to speak with us, because she has the headquarters of Upstate Art Weekend in Kingston, and she is a brilliant marketer. And I think that under the umbrella of Upstate Art Weekend, which is now expanding to try to be more than a weekend, I think the programming generated here could have a really great marketing partner. And I don't know what shape or form that would take, but I think it's really worth having a conversation with her. Because, again, this is the idea that there's no marketing team, right? And there's no marketing funds, but we do have affinities. We have, other community members that are already working on figuring out how to leverage each other in a really kind of symbiotic, collaborative way. And so I think maybe that would be a great concern, to just have her as to field with her.
Thank you for reminding me, because you gave me her number. I reached out to her. We had a couple of great exchanges, very exciting to meet each other. And then we just fell apart because we both got really busy. So tomorrow I'll get back to that. Because I agree with you. She's pretty super.
Yeah.
That brings me to Richard's favorite word. Committee.
Can you guys say something
Yes.
for social media? I think you have a great start right now with what Hutsy's doing. And with that is so much content that you can do in 30-second reels that can be shared. I don't know who exactly is pushing what account from the government, but you have all these artists and you have all these organizations that can spread the word of what's happening here to get more exposure. That could be a start. And from there on, I think it's pretty easy to come up with smaller.
Couldn't the commission have an account?
We should.
I mean,
Yes.
if you have the documentation by legitimate organizations doing documentation, then there may be some wiggle room for some post-production, pro bono to create those clips. I mean, the thing is that you show this amazing budget where, you know, $17,000 you spent and $16,000 goes back into the municipal government. It's like, you know, we need to show the documentation.
I don't really have a website presence. And we kind of learned that when we had to market the Kingston Colonial Days using Engaged Kingston, it didn't work.
I don't think it's a website. I think it's
Yeah,
social.
social media.
I think it's a social channel. And just like Socrates has an arts commission on Instagram, Kingston can have an arts commission on Instagram. I don't know the legalities. Maybe it's a Barbara question, but
Let's have a meeting with Summer and hash this out, okay? Maybe the strategy and funding committee. And see what, you know, what the new website will allow us. There's explanations needed about social networking in the city of Kingston. Generally, I ask presenters to market Facebook, get it out to your list. Because we don't really have, again, I don't have a website. I've had a lot of complaints about that. Where's your website? I didn't see anything. When we had the statue, I had so many complaints. Where is it on the website? I can't find it. It was on Engage Kingston.
isn't there a new website?
I will have to meet with Summer and just,
Yeah.
let's just start there. Okay,
And then I had just one last question based on the report that you showed. Is Kingston not doing anything new with Hispanic Heritage Month? Just from now on, is that?
you know, I did Puerto Rican Day and I got attacked. There was a written call for my firing. Certain people were not satisfied with the work that I did, although there were a whole lot of people that were, including my Commissioner Julio and others who, you know, were participating in it. So I just kind of, you know, handed the baton over to the person that did a lot of complaining to spearhead it, and I would support. As far as any Hispanic or Latino, that is not my background. And I really don't want to offend by being Black and doing something Latino or Hispanic, because I also got shade from people in Newburgh when I was doing that in Newburgh. I did a Hispanic Heritage Day and I had a lot of funding for it. And nobody came. And I was told that that sector doesn't relate to me. So I gave it to my friend Richard Rivera, and there were 1,000 people the following year. And I was very happy. I have no ego. So with that, if, you know, the multiple Hispanic heritage events that occur during Hispanic Heritage Month that I do support, because a lot of them do come to me for either advice on where to find sponsors or how to get the word out or for talent. That's how I'm supporting that. I'm supporting Sue, Alessandra, if Jeannie needs help with any of, well, that's, you know, the Mexican Heritage, the Independence Day piece that goes on at some point. Yeah, so I am playing a more of a supportive role because I'm sensitive to the fact that, I mean, I did not take offense to the calling for my firing, but I was taken aback. Because no Puerto Rican Day had ever happened here before, ever. So we thought we were doing a good thing. What are your thoughts on?
I think
what
you
said?
did a great job by inviting Alexandra. I think in the whole group, there was a great representation of several nations. I do see a lot of events happen for Hispanic heritage around Kingston from other entities.
And we do host the kickoff here at City Hall.
Right, yes, and I think as long as there is like how you brought Alexandra into last week's event, some sort of representation, because I do see Native Americans and all this, like as long as like little snippets, but I think you did a wonderful job of bringing Alexandra into the group.
What are you seeing missing here? Are you seeing it missing in the summer?
In October, isn't
Yeah.
it? Usually October, mid-October.
That's burning things.
So,
Well, actually, during my, the summer concert series, I usually add that. I try to move around quite a bit. I could certainly add, because you're bringing up a good point, that, there should be Hispanic and Latin presence in of my offerings, so I absolutely can add a, Latin concert of some sort during the summer, but there's so many people doing, events of Latin or Hispanic heritage that I prefer to support them. I'm not a person that says that I'm Black and I should be the one to do all Black things. I like everybody to do what we do, but I get it. When I did have a conversation with the one who called for my firing because I want to know, what did I do? When people complain, I would never I would never judge. I'm listening and I'm sensitive to the way that people felt about it. So in the future, I felt in the future, let me just support. I had to talk with Alexandra, I had to talk with Pablo, I had to talk with Julio, and we felt, for now, let's just support. Just brought up a good point, and I feel that it's important that I add a Latin concert to the summer concert series, and then continue to do everything that we can to support the Latin Heritage Month. And I like the fact that they want to kick off here at City Hall this
that's
year.
awesome.
Yeah, I was really happy about that. Is that good? Did I answer your question?
Yeah, okay.
You want to wrong?
Excuse me. This is Dina. Excuse me. Just can we go back? I wanted to make just a quick comment on the social media piece that Lisa and Cesar were speaking about. I also very much agree. I don't think this is really an issue of website. Website is like a static, forum where people go for kind of more technical information in general. And I can just say from the standpoint of Ulster County, it really is posting a ton of, as I think I can't remember who said it, original content that really keeps things going. So I don't know if it's possible for the commission to have an account, but something to think about how to maintain it and sustain it is also a big issue. So that's one thing. And then secondly, I just wanted to say, as far as something to keep in mind. I unfortunately have been very under the weather this week. I was so sad to miss the event on Saturday, truly, truly. And I also was very sad to miss our kickoff event for the FIFA World Cup planning. And I just bring that up because this is a really great opportunity for there to be a lot of activity around different countries and international. And while, of course, it isn't Hispanic heritage, we do have a large Latinx, I'll just say, population. And I know a lot of the different communities, and that's just another thing to remember, like the Latin community is super, diverse. So there's, like we have people who are from the Mexican community, people who are from more Caribbean communities. But there's going to be an event at Dietz over the summer, and that's something I'd love to think about in terms of art that we might be able to offer. I did contact Isabel Sofer, who's with the local, to think about kind of musical possibilities, but it would be really nice to have other art forms. And I'm not sure that Sarah Kramer Harrison is also working on this, but it would be interesting to see what we might do. And I'll leave it there. Thanks.
I was invited to be on that committee. I don't have time. I cannot stretch any further to get involved in sports related things. I understand there's a cultural component, but it's primarily sports. But I will support. I don't know that it has been confirmed. I don't know that it's been booked yet and approved, proclaimed by the mayor. I did get the notes from the meeting today. I will advise, but I really urged Sarah to contact Parks and Rec and get a representative from Park and Rec. I don't know if one was at this meeting or invited, but there should be a Parks and Rec rep since it's a Dietz and it's primarily sports related.
Yeah, I know she's been in touch, but I can't say for certain.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, yeah, Kit, I'm not suggesting that you necessarily, but just for the commission more broadly to think about ways that, or ideas that they might have.
Yeah. Okay, and then, just to close on, strategy and funding, I would just like to, say that DJ and I and the committee and we'll be working with Roseanne to identify, new funding. I don't even know if there is a marketing grant. I remember, when I, was vice chair of Rosendale Theater, we found actually, it was a short-term marketing grant, but we got it. It was for social networking. We had 6 months and we got a shark. And boy, oh boy, was he just thriving to us. And then it just goes. So, it's difficult. It's a difficult area, and especially for this particular municipality. We've had challenges with the website. That's why I would prefer to get the committee together this summer to answer all these questions and to look at solutions to some of the issues, because again, sending me over to Engage Kingston was not the way. It did not work for us. And with the statute, yes, a lot was on Engage Kingston, but with the statute, we were partnering with City of New Paltz. So we had the power of that marketing department. And that drove hundreds to our door. So, yes, the partnership with Bard, yes, the partnership with others is good, but, our marketing, I agree, is very weak.
I think that, at the moment, it's like what you're doing with Hudson is super important, is archiving and collecting videos. So by the point that you do figure out marketing, you have a lot of content that people can work with even beforehand. So like, if you keep doing that, that's like a big thing already.
Yeah, I think you're correct about a marketing committee.
Yeah, Richard.
And I think that.
I'm not volunteering for a marketing committee.
I also
Like
think
you.
Sophie's correct that Talentumor might offer a lot of great perspective. And I want to just say that there is a possibility for collaboration with marketing on a social channel. I think Hudsy could post those things. A lot of organizations have interns, and could be something if we appeal to their civic engagement to work with the arts and cultural department, those organizations and their in training their interns too. You might have some good ones there, Cicely.
Some people.
Yeah.
Where I was looking.
Or even some approaches to appeal to find some stakeholders.
I think that there are a lot of local, I don't know if they would call themselves influencers, but who know what's going on and what's happening in the community and then repost a lot of information. So if you were just to identify those folks and they were able to post, about things that were happening here. I think also like having a sign outside that says event today
Oh,
wouldn't hurt.
sandwich board.
Yeah, sandwich board, just people who walk the streets, and like, I think there are a lot of folks who are tourists who don't have cars and are just out walking. Unlike maybe some of the residents here, but I think that would go a long way in utilizing the billboards, not necessarily the billboards, but those signs that go across the avenues. That is also helpful.
Maybe collaborate with Fancy Bagels and say free bagel.
Something, I think, just seeing, that something's happening on the weekend when you're here one weekend, something's happening in 3 weeks, you're like, oh, I could come back
I bet,
to this thing.
I bet Tyson from Timely Science would be at least interested to attend a committee meeting. Because he offers nonprofit rates for those banners that go across Canby Green. And just to be a part of the conversation with the city, I think could be really useful information. He's a nice guy too.
So do you want us to kind of go, Richard?
I also, just to bring up a subject that has sort of been controversial here, but on a more permanent basis, of combining with something on a more permanent basis, wayfinding, that it creates a structure for us to be doing promotions for different events, but And what I mean by that, because I can see the puzzlement on your face, is something where we focus on districts, areas. I'm not talking about I'm not talking about the wayfinding the way it's been presented, but to us, but where we start, where there's an ongoing promotion of what we're doing. I see puzzlement on your face too. But I just think that I keep looking, the thing for me is always looking for a structure that you can hang local or temporary things on. And I'm sorry.
You're saying that in a physical way, hanging things on?
No,
or
no,
you're
no, no,
talking
no,
in
no,
a
no, no,
virtual
no,
way?
no. It's more, in other words, where and who we're reaching out to. And I'm sorry, I'm just bringing this up now
Wayfinding to
because,
me means signs on the street.
well, I'm not sure. I think there's more than that. That's, yeah. And I don't, I mean, look, I'm just bringing this up because I'm just listening to what's being said, and I'm saying, and it connects with something that I think, there's something that connects with specific communities, something that, where the idea is to draw more people from the local area. We keep talking about tourists, but I'm thinking in terms of people who live here, the residents, to make them aware. I don't think a lot of times residents are aware of what's going on. And so that's what I'm saying. I mean, I would be happy to flesh that out.
Okay.
No, I mean, I think it could be part of a discussion of public, the committee we were just talking about, public, what was the name of it?
Public arts.
Public art, yeah, but, no, not the public art committee. I mean,
Master plan?
no, we were just talking about
Marketing?
our marketing. Thank you. I'm sorry,
Network.
I'm sorry, I blank on words. I'm getting old.
Ish.
But I think, that to me is something, where I said I wasn't interested in something like that, but I am interested in terms of that, of a broad structure. And again, I know it's very vague right now, the way I was saying.
I'm starting to understand.
I think
Good, okay.
also folks don't know, like I didn't see the event on Saturday, but the lighting is incredible. I mean, how are people to know that we have that level of a gallery without information? Like, we're doing public artworks, but there's nothing to show that there's public art in this building on the outside. We're not identified as a museum, we're not, obviously, but what is the thing outside that's going to tell them what's inside?
So it's really the sign on the lawn that says, see the new exhibition in City Hall.
Or, yeah, I mean, there's a lot, I mean, that's how I find out what's playing for the high school play every year, like, oh, unless I have somebody on the inside. But, that's how I find out what the play is.
It's a great idea. I
Um,
mean, USA 250 is a year-long event. You should get a banner out there.
Not to diminish any social media, because I think that's very common.
Yeah.
There.
Those are very practical solutions.
So what the picture making is what we do in historic districts. When we did Bernie of Kingston, we had.
Yeah, the
yard signs everywhere. And people just knew where to go for what. We had the actual full calendars. I see what you're saying about signage. Something out here, I mean, if I have to tape it to the post down here, or whatever, it would do wonders. It really would.
Another suggestion, I don't know if this has been discussed yet, but I wonder, Richard, if this is maybe something that you had in mind too, was press is free marketing, of course, right? And, we have like Chronogram based here in Kingston too. So one marketing strategy could be to reach out to writers and editors of local papers, and with a pitch for a story about the event, whether it's an interview with an artist that's going to be, or musician that's going to be presenting, or whether the story is simply that City Hall is an amazing place to see art, right? But I can really imagine that being the kind of story that would fit into a lot of different types of issues.
I called in that favor when it came down to our major installation, and they gave a whole story chronogram to Trina Green. I have to use my favors wisely. But they also, I have a listing of all of the free sites, including Chronogram, Spectrum. That's why we get plugs on Spectrum News, because all you have to do is submit your event. So, I kind of do that, just, entering data from Spectrum to radio stations, Chronogram. But I really am excited now that we have a new column with Kingston Wire, Friday Highlights, what's it called? With Robin Hagar, who wants to meet with you and me. She gave us a big plug the last Friday. And she wants to sit with me and Lisa on how we can make that column pop, because it's all about what's going on this weekend. But she's really invested in a lot of things that the City of Kingston Arts and Culture are doing. So I just think that we're going to get a lot more love in the coming year from the Kingston Wire. They've been really so good to us. I know that Daily Freeman has so much going on. I always get jealous though, because even though they get a press release and I fill out whatever little forms, I never see us getting highlights. What's happening, this weekend. I see Rosedale Theater, I see all these other people, but I never see us. And I'm not sure what that is. But maybe who do we talk to at the Daily Freeman? When Sophie is raising the
For the artists
point, like,
especially.
Yeah, a lot of people left.
a lot of people are coming and going, and,
It's not even local,
It's-
really.
press releases are not enough. I got this from a number of media sources that you can send us all the press releases we want. We do not have the staff anymore. So we're not gonna, we want, if we see in the headline that there's something that pops, we're gonna read it. But if the headline doesn't pop, we're not gonna look at it. And, if it's worthy, like Brian Mahoney said to me when I came to him with Trina Green's story, he said, "Oh, that's newsworthy. I'm gonna do a story on Trina." Okay.
I just,
But
Arts and Hudson shares their underwriting with WAMC, with all of its awardees, with its grant awardees. So that's,
I didn't know that, because I would have asked, when we
Yeah.
got this award or event that they supported
They
us over
do.
with. I didn't realize that.
yeah, but maybe for the other winter events, February events or something,
Well, hopefully we'll get another award from them. Yeah.
Sorry to be sneaking you.
Thank you. We only have a little bit of time.
yeah, I wanted to suggest that maybe we move the executive session to another
Yeah.
day, like a off a public meeting.
Yes.
Because that, we do have an agenda there.
Yes.
We needed to bring up and
Okay.
talk about
Well,
in terms of strategy.
that's a good idea. So
Okay,
we'll do that.
I don't know, before the holidays.
I don't think so. I'm done on Friday, and I've got one New Year's Eve event, and that is Ars Coralis, our annual Peace and Unity Gathering. We always end the year with Ars Coralis at Old Dutch Church. It's co-sponsored by the city and Old Dutch, and it's just a lovely event. And the beautiful thing is it's 6:00. So you can go at 6 and it's 7 and it ends at 7, and then you can be home to be asleep by the time the ball drops. Or you can go out. So that's our final event of the year, and as I always say, I stand on all of your shoulders. That's the reason why we look so good, and I want to thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. May I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Thank you,
Second.
Cicely, Hughes,